Hello and welcome to a practice that will cover a little bit of everything, but there's particular emphasis on understanding the relationship between the outer groin and the inner groin, how they work together in a variety of different poses. So we're actually going to start lying down on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana without any equipment. So go ahead and lie down, bring your feet together, your heels close to the perineum, roll your shoulders back and extend the arms out to the side, and close the eyes. Don't allow yourselves to get passive or sleepy. Make sure the neck is centralized, the eyes are closed and proceeding towards the brain, but the breath is even and smooth, and your alertness is growing and expanding with the breath, observing the body, creating evenness where there's distortion, feeling the inner groins open, and make sure to keep the sacrum moving towards the heels so the lumbar has length, doesn't want to overarch, creating strain, and to keep the front shoulders pressing back, so the chest, the side ribs, the sternum begin to feel openness. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Peeling the body gently open, drawing the ears in towards each other and smoothing the brow, the cheeks. And now with your hands, you're going to make little fists with your hands, and you're going to place those hands underneath the outside edges of your thighs. And in this way, your outer thighs are going to rest on the hands. Two things will happen. First of all, your front groins are going to feel more supported, so they're going to relax more. So with an exhalation, relax the pubic bone, the groins, the backs of the knees. Keep the shoulders rolled back. And the second thing is, by having the hands there, rubbing against the skin of the outer thighs, you're going to become more aware of this area. We call this area the outside edge of the femur bone. And allow the fist to gently push the outside edge of your femur bones into the thighs, towards the inner groins. So as the inner groins open, the outer edges of the femur bones are drawn in, are sucked in, for now our fists are pressing them in. Keep the sacrum, the coccyx moving towards the heels, and roll the shoulders back again. And then release the hands and bring them out to the side again, but try to keep the memory of the imprint on the outside edge of your femur bones. Recentralize the neck, pacify the front throat, and with the shoulders strongly rolled back, see if you can bring some sensation to the upper back, pressing the back ribs in, the shoulder blades in, the dorsal spine in, bringing more alertness to how the back upper body can press to open the chest, to lift the walls of the sternum. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation, quieting the brain, but making the body, the cells, the fibers more and more awake, engaged, aware of themselves, bringing awakening to all different parts of the body to link it together. Feel the abdominal cavity beginning to lengthen and stretch more and more, and use the inhale expressly to lengthen the anterior, the front body, from the pubic bone to the navel, from the navel to the sternum. See how you can make more length with the inhale, and use the exhale to roll the trapezius muscles down the back, to press the back ribs in, and to move the sacrum towards the heels. So there's a loop, a circle that's being created inside. The inhale is the upward, the exhale is the downward, down the back body. And now using your hands, you're going to lift the legs up, the feet will be on the floor, the inner knees will be touching, still lying on the floor. Tilt the pelvis so the lumbar regains any length that it's lost, and just observe. Feel the feet on the floor. And now bring the knees towards you, Dvipada Supta Bhavana Muktasana, but a particular application today. Instead of trying to bring the knees towards the chest, once your fingers are interlocked, check that your inner feet are lined up, your inner knees, and instead try to have a sensation of the entire spine, from the coccyx all the way up to the cervical spine, lengthening and pressing evenly and equally onto the floor. And then release the feet back to the floor. Now bring the right leg towards you, lateral Supta Parangrushtasana, taking hold of the big toe. Begin to bring the leg towards you and down to the side, towards you and down to the side. Feel the right inner groin opening. Roll the shoulders back and roll now the right abdomen to the left as you stretch the left arm to the side. Keep the knees straight and strong. The shoulders rolled back. Keep moving the right abdomen to the left. Moving the right lung to the left, pressing the back ribs in, and stretching the front waist to get length spaciousness in the abdominal cavity, in the diaphragm, in the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. And then bring the leg back up and reach with your hands to hold the foot. Straighten the leg, draw the leg towards you, but keep the leg straight. And now lift your head to meet the shin. Keep squeezing the knee. And then exhale and release. Bend the knee and bring the foot back to the floor. Once again, ascertain evenness before bringing the left leg towards you for lateral Supta Padangusthasana on the left. Go ahead and straighten the leg, or do the best that you can to straighten the leg, and then bring the leg towards you and out to the left, towards you and out to the left. It's good to come down in increments because it allows the body time to observe the movement, to keep everything engaged, alert. Once you're down, you can use the elbow to help support you on the floor. Feel the opening of the left inner groin and roll the left abdomen to the right, the left lung to the right as you stretch the right arm out to the side. In this way you stay centralized. You don't start heeling over towards the extended leg. So the body creates evenness in the pose despite the distortion of the leg to the side. Keep the neck centralized, the face passive. See if you can bring the leg a little lower, in line with the shoulder, opening the left inner groin, keeping the knee straight, keeping the foot alert. Observe all of this, have your attention everywhere at the same time. And at the same time, keep pressing the back body in, the shoulder blades in, the dorsal spine forward. Now lift the leg back up. You're going to reach with your other hand, and both hands will now hold the foot, and you'll draw the leg towards you. And as you draw the leg towards you, squeeze the knee and push the front thigh away from you. And now lift the head up, bring the forehead to the shin. Again, draw the leg a little closer, re-squeeze the knee, keep the foot alert. Trapezius muscles down the back. And exhale and release. Bend the knee and place the foot back to the floor. Again, re-ascertain with a sense of balance. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Quieten the brain. And now bring the legs back to Supta Baddha Konasana, our second Supta Baddha Konasana. Again, make sure your buttocks are moving towards your heels, so your lumbar's long. Now bring the arms up, cross your thumbs together, and stretch the arms back behind you this time. So with the arms stretched, we're going to be able now to feel more stretch, more length happening in the waists of the body, the left waist and the right waist. The inner groins already have a feeling of openness from the last two poses. So they're going to be relatively unshocked by lying in Supta Baddha Konasana, which means that you can focus now on the outside edge of your femur bones more and begin to suck the outer edge of your femur bones in as you stretch the arms and lengthen the waist away from the hips. Widen the pubic bone, lengthen the abdomen, keep the arms vibrant so that the armpit skin feels that it's being stretched. All 10 fingers are being stretched. Simultaneously keep the brow smooth, the cheeks smooth, the tongue passive. Now lift the arms back up, change the cross of the thumbs, and bring the arms back down again. And re-stretch. See if you can find even more length through the arms, through the armpits, through the waist. All of the intercostal muscles between the ribs are beginning to stretch and open the diaphragm. But make sure to keep the tailbone moving towards the heels, the lumbar long, the outside edge of the femur bones being sucked into the thighs. See how the groins react to this, how they open more deeply when the outer femur bones are being sucked in. Re-stretch your arms, stretch your fingers. Make sure to move the trapezius muscles down the back, not to hunch up towards the ears. Then bring the arms back up and release the arms to the side of the body. Deep inhalation and deep exhalation. And now, using your hands, bring the legs back up, feet to the floor, inner knees touching. And just feel any differences, any new sensations, any observations you have to make about the left, the right side. Then stretch the left leg straight so that the heel is pressing down and the toes are facing to the sky. Bend the right knee towards you. Take hold of the big toe with the first two fingers of the hand. Refine Supta Padangusthasana 1. Charge the left leg. Keep rolling the left thigh in. And then begin to bring the right leg out to the side for lateral Supta Padangusthasana. Once again, roll the right abdomen to the left. Roll the right lung to the left and stretch the left arm out to the side to help anchor you so that your body has a sense of evenness to the left and the right. Keep the left leg charged, the heel pressing down, the foot alert. Now with the right leg, the inner groin is very open now, so again focus on the outside edge of the right femur bone and suck the outer edge of the femur bone into you more and more, and suck the indent of the hip into the hip, and from that feel a new firmness come to the leg. The inner groin opens more, the leg straightens more. Squeeze the knees, sharpen the ankles. Keep rolling the right abdomen to the left, the right lung to the left, and pinning the front shoulders back, pressing the back ribs in, lifting the chest open. And now bring the leg back up. Feel the firmness, and then bend the knees and release to Supta Tadasana. Inner feet touching, inner knees touching. Roll the front shoulders back. Keep the roots of the thighs firm. And now bend the left knee, keep the right leg firm, take hold of the left foot, and stretch the left leg to Supta Padangusthasana 1. Charge your legs, sharpen your ankles, prepare, send the mind everywhere, observing, and then begin to bring the left leg down to the side to lateral Supta Padangusthasana, keeping the right leg firm, the right heel pressing down, the right foot alert. Keep rolling the front shoulders back, keep the neck centralized, the face quiet, and then watching how the body tends to kneel towards the left leg, roll the left abdomen to the right, roll the left lung to the right, and stretch the right arm out to the side to help anchor you, so that there's an equal division of energy from the left to the right side, despite the disturbance of the leg. Now the inner groin is open, so focus again on the outside edge of the femur bone, the outside edge of the left femur bone, and suck the outer edge of the femur bone in, the skin in, the flesh in, the indent of the left hip in. Keep sucking it in, tightening, until you feel the front groin reacting. It feels the safety, it opens more. Keep drawing the outer edge of the femur bone in, straighten the knees, sharpen the ankles. Keep rolling the left abdomen to the right, the left lung to the right, stretching the right arm to the side, pressing the back ribs in, and feeling the diaphragm, the sternum, the chest broadening, undisturbed by the strength of the legs, the brain quiet. And with that same sharpness, lift the leg back up, observe, hold, re-alert the feet, the ankles, the heels on both legs, and then bend the knees and place the feet back together in Supta Tadasana. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And although we can rest, remember to keep that alertness, the body still compact, engaging. And now bending the knees, bring the legs back to our third supine Baddha Konasana. And this time with your hands, reach for your ankles. You may need to lift your buttocks up, coil the front shoulders back, keep lifting the buttocks until you have a firm grip of the ankles, and then place the hips back down and let the knees, the thighs, the groin spread open. In this way you can really press the front shoulders back, press the back ribs in, and the hands underneath, holding the ankles underneath the outer edge of the femur bones, can help you to suck the outer edge of the femur bones in too. Be careful not to overarch the lower back. And when you feel that you have that, you can release the hands, keeping the shoulders pinned back. So the chest is extremely broad now. So we work through the inner groin, the outer groin, the length of the waist, and now bringing that extreme openness to the chest. You can put your hands on your thighs to kind of press them down and out to help open more, as long as you keep the outer edge of the femur bone squeezing in, supporting that movement, supporting that deep opening. Try to stretch the waist away from the hips so that there's always a length being felt on the left waist, the right waist, an infinite lengthening. Feel the collarbones, how they lengthen, how the front shoulders really have to coil, over-exaggerate the motion back so the back ribs can start to feel themselves. It's a very dense area. We all tend to hunch over, so this area becomes sleepy. We can't feel it. We can't access it. So keep coiling the front shoulders back, pressing the back ribs in, pressing the shoulder blades up. And then exhale and release. Bring the knees back in towards each other, the feet to the floor, and refine what has become our position of neutrality. And then bring the knees again towards the chest, but this time fold the right knee over the left. Hip openers, reach with your hand for your ankles. and begin to draw the ankles gently towards you. See the ankles as a steering wheel of sorts, and when you look at them, you want them to be on the same level. Then notice how your front shoulders may have shortened again. Try to find that space again at the front shoulder area that permits the back body to also do its work even as the hips are being opened, broadened. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Establish that evenness, that presence. And keep softening the cheeks, the brow, the face. And now release, uncross the legs, and you're going to change sides. Cross the left knee over the right. Reach with your hands for your ankles, your shin area, and begin to draw the legs towards you, feeling the shin ankle as a steering wheel, so aligning them somewhat. Keep allowing the back hips to broaden as you soften the front groins. Keep the abdomen soft, unstrained. The front shoulders rolled back. And the ears being drawn in towards each other. And then gently exhaling, releasing, bringing the feet back to the floor. Ascertaining the new sensation so that each pose feels like a layering into the next. Bring the legs back to Baddha Konasana. One last time. Place the hands on the front inner thighs and begin to press the palms down to the ground and towards the knees, down to the ground and towards the knees. At the same time, strongly squeeze the outer edge of the femur bones in, and then stretch the arms above the head. The palms are parallel as if there was a block between them, stretching the elbows, stretching the armpits, keeping the lumbar long, the abdomen lengthening, the sternum lifting, the intercostal muscles stretching, the armpit skin stretching, the back ribs pressing in, the trapezius muscles moving away from the ears. All of this sensation moving with the breath, the entire system linking as a whole, feeling all of the work that we've done coming together, then lifting the arms back up and bringing the arms now to Urdhva Dhanurasana arms, back bend arms. So place the hands underneath the shoulders, and as you place the hands, press into the heels of the hands, spread the fingers, spread the knuckles, and begin to feel the back body pressing up. We're going to be lifting up to a sort of Paryankasana, where the shoulder blades will lift up, with the buttocks will stay on the floor. So make sure that your heels of their hands have a strong presence, that you can really feel that you'll be able to push. And now go ahead and lift up and place the crown of the head on the floor. Keep pressing the shoulder blades up into the upper back. Keep pressing the heels of the hands firmly down and evenly. Try to parallelize the elbows as best as you can. Move the trapezius muscles down the back. That's it. Lift the chest to the sky. Imagine a fountain coming out of your sternum plate. Feel the outside edge of the femur bones. They may have lost their grip. Grip them back in. Grip the indents of the hips into the pose. Keep the hips firm in that way, the back hips firm. And then exhale and release. And come back down. Stretch the arms out to the side. Bring the legs back up, feet to the floor, inner knees touching. And then stretch the legs straight to Supta Tadasana. Rolling the thighs in, tucking the hips, the buttocks moving towards the heels. Press the front shoulders back. And find a sense of evenness. Now come up onto your forearms, keeping the legs in Supta Tadasana, and arch back and place the crown of the head on the floor. Now go ahead and bring the arms to Urdhva Dhanurasana arms, parallelizing the elbows and pressing firmly into the heels of the hands, firmly and evenly, left to right, moving the trapezius muscles down the back, pressing the back ribs in, pressing the shoulder blades in, and lifting the sternum to the sky. Keep the legs very firm. Keep pressing the front thighs away from you down to the ground in order to stretch the abdomen from that downward pressure. So descending and ascending from that, re-lift the chest, re-press the back ribs in, move the forehead back, and then exhale and release back down to Supta Tadasana. Keep the legs firm. Roll the shoulders back again. Press the back ribs in. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Refocus, resensitize. Now come back up again onto your forearms. This time bend the knees. So the inner feet are parallel, the inner knees are parallel. Then arch back, place the crown of the head on the floor. Stretch the arms straight behind you, parallelize the arms, then bend the arms and place them in Urdhva Dhanurasana arms. If you can, bring your head closer towards the hips. Press into the heels of the hands. Make sure not to overarch the lumbar. Keep moving the tailbone towards the heels. Try to arch the middle back, the upper back, to press into the hands to activate the ribs, the muscles of the upper back, the shoulder blades of the upper back, and move the forehead back into the skull. Relax the face. Now lift the feet off the floor and keep the same pose. Keep pressing the back ribs in. And now bring the feet back to the floor and bring yourselves back down and extend the legs and refine Supta Tadasana. The legs are charged, the front shoulders are rolled back, the tailbone is moving towards the heels. Inhale up the front body and exhale down the back body, keeping the legs firm, the brain quiet. Coming up again now, sitting up all the way, then getting on your forearms, bringing the crown of the head to the floor. See how I'm holding the edges of the mat. This helps me to centralize, to really roll the front shoulders back. Then bring the arms to Urdhva Dhanurasana. Keep the legs charged, the front thighs pressed down. Press into the hands to arch the upper back, to press the shoulder blades in. Even out the breath, relax the face, bring the forehead to the back of the skull. Keep pressing into the arms, find that vibrancy in the arms so the upper back can do its work. Now bend the knees like you did on the last one. This time bring the feet immediately off the floor. Keep pressing into the hands. Now stretch the legs straight so they're reaching diagonally away from you. Again, press into the hands, activize the upper back. Squeeze the knees, sharpen the ankles, alert the feet. And then bend the knees, place the feet back down. Extend the legs. Keep arching the upper back. Bring the hands to the side of the mat. Hold onto the mat again. Re-arch. Come onto your forearms. And sit back up again. Pull the buttock bones back and out to the side. Bring the fingertips to the floor behind you. Find Dandasana in Paschimottanasana. And use Dandasana to re-lengthen the front spine with the inhalation. And to descend the back spine with the exhalation. To re-find evenness. To prepare. Then holding the sides of the mat, come back onto the forearms. And arch back and place the crown of the head. Use the hands holding the mat to centralize before stretching the arms straight. Pressing the upper back in. The chest is starting to really open now. Bring the hands to the floor for Urdhva Dhanurasana arms. Keep the legs charged, the thighs rolling in towards each other. Press, have a sense of urgency. Keep lifting up. Now bend the knees and lift the feet off the floor. Pressing the back ribs in. Then stretch the legs straight, diagonally away from you. And now lift the arms up. Hands are parallel. Keep the crown of the head firmly on the floor, the forehead pressing back. Press the upper back in, stretch up through the arms, lift the chest. Uttanapadasana. And then release the arms, release the feet, and slowly lie down on the mat, finding Supta Tadasana, keeping the legs rolling in, the heels firm. Coil the front shoulders back, arms extended to the side of the body, and re-lengthen the tailbone towards the heels. Relax. And then roll over to the right-hand side. And let's make our way into Vajrasana, kneeling pose. Place the backs of the hands on the fronts of the thighs, sitting tall, sitting straight. Allow the backs of the hands to press the front thighs down, and from there stretch the waist. Now bring the hands behind the back, interlock the fingers together, and as you roll the front shoulders back, you're lifting the arms, but you're moving the trapezius muscles down the back in order that the side rib cage underneath the armpit may really begin to lift and stretch and broaden. Now change the cross of the arms, re-lift the arms, but move the trapezius muscles down the back and see if you can penetrate more deeply. Keep the tailbone moving down and forward so you don't overarch the lumbar. Press the dorsal spine forward. And exhale and release. Feel the beauty of that openness that's come. Lift the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana arms. Stretching, stretching, finding more verticalness, more length. Stretching to your maximum all the way out through the fingertips to the sky above. And then turn and twist to the right, pressing the left palm against the outside edge of the right thigh, the right fingertips on the floor behind you. Walk them back if you can so they're more behind the left buttock. Use the hands to turn to twist, to turn to twist. At the same time, keep the collarbones long. And then exhale and release. Press the roots of the thighs down as you inhale and lift the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Stretch the waist, stretch the armpits, stretch the elbows, the wrists, the fingertips, and then turn and twist to the left. pressing the right palm against the left thigh, the left fingertips on the floor behind you. If you can, walk the left fingertips back. Lengthen the collarbones, roll the front shoulders back. Use each exhale to twist more. And exhale and release. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And now moving into the next part of our practice. Let's get our chairs. So having taken your chairs, unfolded, place them on the right hand side of the mat so that when you come to your first Trikonasana on the right hand side, the chair will be on the outside edge of your right femur bone. Then go ahead and reach around with your left hand and take hold of the chair behind you, which will force the shoulder to stay open. Keep that openness in the chest. Coming down, place your right hand on the seat of the chair. Now keep the legs vibrant. Don't use the chair as an excuse to sink into the pose. On the contrary, use it to bring more alertness. Keep pressing the hand that's holding the back chair, the left hand, forward to push your right buttock bone forward, to push the outside edge of the right femur bone forward. The same action that we had in our Baddha Konasans. And from there, feel the groin open more. Keep the roots of the thighs firm and keep turning, twisting up to the left. And now stretch the left arm up to the sky and find the full expression of your Trikonasana. Keep pressing the back ribs in, the shoulder blades in. And then inhale up. And exhale, release. So we're going to move the chair now to the left-hand side for Trikonasana on the left-hand side. Make sure it's lined up with the outside edge of your left femur bone. The back of the chair is towards you. Then bring the right arm around and take hold of the seat of the chair. And you can feel that your right hand will actually push the left buttock bone forward, which opens the groin. Then go ahead and come down and place the left hand on the seat of the chair, keeping the right shoulder rolled open so you maintain that contact with the chair. Now if you need to go lower, you can bring the left hand past the seat and onto the horizontal rung of the chair. Otherwise, stay right where you are on the seat and just begin to get that opening, finding how the left outer femur bone is sucked in order to better open the groin, to move the tailbone forward, and from there turning and twisting. Now stretch the right arm to the sky, feel that full expression. Left abdomen to the right, tailbone forward, left buttock bone forward. And then inhale up, and exhale, and release. So we're going to now use the chair for Virabhadrasana 2. You're going to sit facing the back of the chair, starting with our right leg, so turn your left foot in and your right foot all the way to the front. Nice and wide stance. Make sure the front kneecap faces forward. Then holding the railing of the chair, slowly begin to lunge, and as you lunge, make sure that the back outer edge of the femur bone comes in, but the inner groin moves back. Place the chair right where it'll be most comfortable for your seat, and see how often the buttock bone pushes out. Try to bring your buttocks forward, the outer edge of the femur bones in, and at the same time press the knees open like a Baddha Konasana. Now roll your right abdomen to your left. Roll your right lung to your left so that the torso doesn't follow the front knee. The right abdomen rolling to the left. Keep the back leg very charged, straight, strong, pressing into the outer heel. Shoulder blades down the back, into the upper back to open the chest. Then stretch the arms and turn the head to look over the front arm without turning the abdomen to follow. So the abdomen moves in the opposite direction than the head. And then place the hands on the back of the chair and slowly inhale up. Coming now to the left-hand side, so turn the left leg all the way open so the left knee faces forward. Charge the legs, press the left buttock bone forward to open the groin. The left outer femur bone in, sucking in as you begin to lunge down. Keep pushing the inner knee to the outer knee as you lunge down. Move the chair so that it meets your buttocks in a place that's right for you. And see how the buttocks often will push back out. Now once again, tuck the tailbone forward, the middle buttocks in. Get the action of Baddha Konasana in that front leg, squeezing the outer edge of the femur bone to better open the groin. Now roll the left abdomen to the right and push into the outside edge of that back heel firmly. Now with the hands on the back railing of the chair, roll the front shoulders back and lift your sternum. Keep moving the trapezius muscles down the back, press the shoulder blades into the upper back. Keep the firmness of the legs, that integrity between outer and inner groin. And now lift the arms and turn the head to look towards the left over the front leg, but keep rolling the abdomen away from the front thigh. Keep the outside edge of the femur bone firmly squeezing in, the tailbone coming forward, the left buttock coming forward. And then exhale, release the hands to the chair, and slowly make your way up. So we feel our alignment much more deeply when we have a chair. It shows us how we can easily escape when we're using the pose without props, without realizing it. So now we're going to come to another pose on the chair. It's an interesting pose to do on the chair, unusual. You'll need a little bit of equipment to protect yourself from the hardness of the chair. One blanket should suffice, but if you feel you need extra padding, take a second yoga mat and put it underneath the blanket. And then you're also going to need a strap. We're going to be doing a version of Baddha Konasana where we lie back and the chair supports us in a big opening of the chest. So go ahead and climb through the chair so you're facing backwards, if you will, and undo your strap so that you can create a new loop that uses the back railing of the chair. Go ahead and put the strap around the railing, buckle up again, and make a loop. Your feet are going to be held and supported in this loop in the Baddha Konasana. Then go ahead and lift your feet up one at a time, and this might feel a little bit awkward. You'll have to move the buttocks very much forward over the back edge of the seat of the chair. And bring the legs, the feet together, and just make the strap as comfortable as possible. And then you're going to start lying back, and when you start lying back it gets more comfortable. As you lie back, you move your buttocks, your hips, all the way over the edge of the seat of that chair. And of course the feet are being held by the loop. And then you lie completely arching back and putting your arms inside the legs of the chair and reaching and holding on to the back legs. The part of the seat that's pressing into the upper back, make sure that it's pressing right into the shoulder blades, the bottom of the shoulder blades. So not too high, but not too low that you've missed the shoulder blades completely. And allow the head to hang back completely like a backbend head and draw the forehead into the back skull. Now in your Supta Baddha Konasanas, even though you're being held, find now the outer edge of your femur bones that you've been working with, and the skin and the flesh that is on the outer edge of the femur bones and the indent of the hips. And suck all these areas in strongly, repetitively, until you feel all of them engaging, and feel how it helps the groins to open. It also helps you to move the sacrum towards the heels to keep the lumbar long, which in turn brings this fantastic freedom to the diaphragm, to the ribs, this openness to the sternum. And then with the seat of the chair pressing into the shoulder blades, if you coil your front shoulders back in that Paryankasana action, you can invite the chair into the shoulder blades, invite the chair to press into the shoulder blades and really feel the strength of the action pushing from the back. So when we work with the chair, we have to be careful. Sometimes we can resist it or learn to yield to it, to take the instruction and bring it into the cells of the body. So keep using the exhale to yield to the equipment, to learn from it, to shape the body around it. And now we're slowly going to release the hands and reach for the back railing of the chair. And as you come up, use your elbows to help you. And then unhook your feet. Bring your feet to the floor. Move your buttocks back so you're sitting on the chair comfortably. And just allow yourselves a little bit of time to recover, to find straightness, neutrality in the spine, evenness in the feet and the knees. And now we're going to come to another version, but not with Baddha Konasana. So you're going to again lie back, moving the buttocks forward. The feet are going to stay on the floor. The knees will be bent. Keep the knees parallel. And stretch the arms straight behind you, parallelizing your arms, squeezing your elbows as straight as possible, your wrists, your fingers, long, straight. With this action, press the back shoulder blades in. The chair is helping to remind you. And lift the sternum up, lift the side ribs that are underneath the armpit area. See if at the peak of the inhale you can feel them lifting away from the side of the lungs. And now bring your hands inside the seat of the chair and reach again for the back rungs. You may need to slide over the chair a little bit more, adjust. Again, everyone has a different length torso, so find what works for you. Keep the tailbone long. Keep extending with each exhalation the tailbone towards the knees, towards the heels. And with each inhalation, lengthening the front abdomen. Keep stability in the feet, the inner ankles lifting, and a presence in the knees. And now we're going to bring our feet towards our hands. So go ahead and bring your feet towards your hands, then reach with your hands and lift your feet up over the bottom rung of the chair. And then try and walk your hands up your shins. So we're in a supported Kapotasana. Keep moving the tailbone towards the knees and up to the sky, strongly, up to the pubic bone. Keep lifting the middle buttocks up, rolling the front shoulders back, pressing the back ribs in, pressing the shoulder blades. Soften the neck, keep it centralized, keep the brain quiet, and bring the forehead backwards into the back of the skull. Feel the action even here of the outer femur bones. Even though the groin isn't being opened, to contain the pose, you need to squeeze the outer femur bones into themselves, and it helps the knees stay parallel. And now exhale, release your feet. Bring your hands back to the railing of the chair. Slide your bottom over a little bit over the edge so you can easily come up. And then slowly, gently, using your forearms, your elbows, your hands, make your way up. Move the hips back onto the seat. Bring the forehead to the forearms and just gently release, relax. Often when we're tense, even the tongue is holding a little bit of that tension, so use these opportunities of exhalations to relax and neutralize hidden tensions. And now we're coming to yet another really lovely pose on the chair. Very simple. You'll need your chair and a bolster and a wall, and we're going to do a very beautifully supported back bend using the hands against the wall. So sitting on the end of your bolster, lay down. Check that the entire spine, including the cervical spine, the neck, is supported. Then reach back with your hands for your wall, push into your feet to slide back a little bit if you need to, and stretch your legs straight. So you're making a beautiful bridge shape, and everything is supported. There's no strain. So with this support, you can really work moving the trapezius muscles down the back as you stretch the arms. The armpits, the triceps, the inner forearms can get a real stretch. The back ribs can press in, the shoulder blades can press in. If it's too much, you can always bend the knees and have the feet on the floor, the knees parallel, but whether your legs are straight or bent, find the outer edges of the femur bones and draw them in to contain the legs so the legs stay parallel. And keep moving the tailbone up to the pubic bone, the middle buttocks up to the sky. So whether the legs are straight or bent, same actions. With straight legs, you're going to have a little more intensity. Check that the elbows are straight, that the arms are parallel. Allow the front face to relax. Often we hold on in the jaw, in the throat, in the ears. And enjoy the length that's coming to the entire system. Remember to let the inhale link up the front body to find that length, and the exhale loops down the back body. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And now gently lifting the arms back up, placing them on the abdomen, and slowly just sliding down the chair. So the spine is always supported, there's no strain until the knees are on the floor and you can gently come up. So all of the work of the groins, of the outer edges of the femur bones, of the back ribs pressing in, the chest opening, all of this coming together now. And we're going to take one more pose on the chair, one more opening of the chest, lengthening, restoring in supported Sarvangasana. So you'll need a blanket, which you're going to put on the chair, and a bolster or some blankets for your shoulders and neck. Go ahead and sit on the chair, and as you sit on the chair, lift the legs up the wall and move your buttocks towards the end seat of the chair so there's a balance. Then curve back over, and once you have the support and you feel that the bolster is right where it wants to be underneath your shoulders, the neck is coming off the edge of the bolster, reach with your hands inside the chair and hold the back rungs. You're going to feel some stability now. Sometimes there's a little feeling of overstretching in the lower back. If this happens for you, just keep moving your buttocks closer towards your face, closer to that seat of the chair, and then stretch the legs back up. Keep the feet parallel, even though you're supported by a chair, moving out of that often very human place we go of resting and being completely passive, where we lose that alertness. So legs straight, the feet alert, space between the toes. Still observing through the breath the evenness or lack of evenness, and making just little adjustments to see how they ripple through the rest of the body. Our bodies are very open now. The chest is open, sensation in the upper back, the hips, the legs, the groins. And Sarvangasana is really a pose where we allow all of the energies of our practice to settle so that they penetrate deeply. It's a kind of cooking in the oven. Now and then you may feel that your neck can lengthen a bit, and so allow your head to move back. Don't let the back of the head be stuck on the floor. But at the same time, keep the front shoulders rolling away from the ears, so that from the shoulders to the ears, more length is coming. And the collarbones are lengthening, and the front throat is softening. The tongue passive, the eyes relaxed. Deep inhalation and deep exhalation. You can visualize more blood, vascularity coming into the heart, the lungs, the brain. And in this pose you can strongly feel the presence of the back body, how it can really press in to open the chest. It's like a final experience of all the work that we've done today on the upper back and the chest. And as we know, the sternum is associated with the seat of the heart, the fourth center of consciousness. And so becoming more and more aware of this space between the lungs, the space that can be tight or open, that can be protected, that can be overgiving, and finding evenness in the sternum bone itself. And now we're going to bend the knees, and we're going to bring our legs to one last and final Baddha Konasana, resting the feet on the top railing of the chair. Make sure to move your sacrum towards your heels, your tailbone towards your heels, and your tailbone to your pubic bone at the same time. The middle buttocks going up, the outer edges of the femur bone squeezing in. Even though you may be tired and ready to relax the body into Shavasana, one last little effort of awakeningness in the outer femur bones, so the groins can open, so the pubic bone can widen, can broaden, the abdomen can widen, soften, lengthen. With the outer edges of the femur bones being drawn, sucked in, re-roll your front shoulders back, and again pull the shoulder blades in, pull the back ribs in, and keep the back of the neck long. The chin, the jaw soft, so the sternum is coming to the chin rather than the chin coming to the sternum. You want to feel that the back body is pushing the sternum, which is broadening, closer to the chin, without any shortness coming to the neck. And now go ahead and bend your knees back together again on the chair, resting, centralizing, and then bend the right knee and extend the right leg straight behind you, finding slowly the floor. The left foot will come up to and join the right leg, and you're now in Halasana, still holding the back edges of the chair. Walk the feet towards you, and now you're going to release your hands, but keep your arms in the legs of the chair, so bend the elbows and use the hook at the inner elbow on the first leg of the chair. And now really roll the front shoulders back and press the back ribs in this Halasana. Keep the legs charged. Little bit more strength. Push the front thighs up to the sky. Broaden the back thighs. From the armpit to the outer hip, on the left side and the right side. Make more length. And now bend the knees, coming to a version of Karnapidasana, bending the knees towards the forehead. Keep the elbows hooked, the front shoulders rolling back, pressing the back shoulder blades in. This will be a very strong shoulder opening, so be gentle, go slowly. Stay very aware. Don't go past the edge. Relax the face over and over again so it doesn't take on the tension. And now we're going to come back up and come back down. So reach for the chair with your hands so you have stability. Lift the legs back up and slowly slide down, sliding down. Your blankets may come with you, doesn't matter, until your hips and buttocks are on the bolster that your shoulders were just resting on. Keep your legs parallel, so you keep the knees touching, the inner feet touching. Again, a sense of evenness, not collapsing into rest, keeping that mental alertness, that state of meditation. Relax completely the hips, the abdomen. Relax completely the shoulders, the arms. And then gently scooting back until your hips and buttocks are on the floor. And place the legs in our final Baddha Konasana, I promise you, on the bolster. The feet are on the bolster, the legs out to the side. And just feel the difference in the quality of your groins now than when we started. And not only that, but the understanding that you have an entire edge of the femur bone, the outer hip coming in, how the tailbone lengthens to the heels and comes up to the pubic bone, all of these actions working at the same time. And then go ahead and bring your legs back together and roll over to the right hand side and gently push yourself up. And that is our practice for today. I hope that you've enjoyed it, that it's brought something to you, something that you can bring to your own practice, your own learning, or your own teaching. Namaste. I hope we practice again soon.